Picture it, Los Angeles, 2024. It's the last time we're going to say 2024. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm okay with that. Welcome to Out on the Lanai, the only Golden Girls podcast you're ever going to need to listen to. I am HAlanScott / Sadie Pines.
I'm Kerri Doherty, and this is just kind of a special
End
of the year holiday check-in chat. We're kind of keeping it loose, kind of keeping it casual, a little bit like the Rusty Anchor Happy Hour.
Yeah, this is kind of Rusty Anchor-y in that it's very chill. We're going to be answering some of your questions. We're going to be just sort of wrapping up things for the year that was, the golden year that it was. And I mean, we initially, I'll just be frank, we weren't going to do this. So Kerri and I were texting earlier this week, and I was like, I don't know about like a Christmas Day, Christmas Eve episode, or whatever like day we release this. Like, I don't know, because I feel like everyone's going to be busy or distracted or all the things. And then I was driving Michael, as I am known to do, because he doesn't drive. And I was mentioning this, that I had talked with you about this, and he was like, oh no, I remember on YouTube and stuff, people posting on Christmas and Christmas Day, and it was just like nice, because for people who either have complicated relationships with family, or maybe are solo this year, or maybe have different things going on or whatever, it's just always nice to like have that as sort of a just something else to do to maybe distract you from some things that might not be always happy. And so that made me have a change of heart, and I was like, okay, we need to do something.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it if like the holidays are a busy time, but I always found that around holiday time, especially if I was traveling, I just like was craving new episodes of my podcast to listen to so that I could listen to them during holiday travel, or if I was like having a bad night or something, I could just listen to it at nighttime. So yeah, I'm glad that we're doing this.
And this is one that you can, if you would like, we'll just release everything all at once. So you can watch it on, of course, the Patreon. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to the podcast. Like, you can watch it everywhere right now. So,
although I hope everybody's watching it, because we just did a really fun live on Instagram, which if you want, you can go over to our Instagram and watch it. It's posted there. But I was wearing, because I'm chilly, I was wearing my big IMDb furry hat that I got when I went to Sundance with them. And I think it looked good on the live, but with headphones right now, I think it looks kind of insane. And I'm here for it, I guess. This is my holiday look.
I like it. I also showed off on that Insta Live this button that I received. You can probably hear it better here. This button that I received at a bookstore. It's called the Golden Girls Talking Button, and it's sort of like the button that was easy button from Staples back in the day, but it's just quotes from the girls. But you'll hear, and I'll play it right now. You can, if you're watching, you can see this little button here. Here we go. And it's just like the four girls, and you just press it and stuff. And the quotes are particularly long. Let me just play one.
Rose, you're not going to tell us that story about the exploding pig again, are you?
Well, that was a shorter one, but
my lunch. Eat dirt and die, trash.
Okay, I'm getting to the short ones, I guess. This is proving me wrong. Button, you're failing me.
I eat raw cookie dough.
I love this.
And occasionally, I run through the sprinklers and don't wear a bathing cap. And at Christmas, I've been known to put away more than one eggnog.
Like, they're long quotes. Anyway.
Some of them are. Yeah, we were having a hard time on the Insta Live. Nobody could hear them.
Well, yeah, I knew you wouldn't be able to because of the headphones and stuff. But here you can hear it because of the microphone. But no.
Hey, let me ask you, when you purchased the button, did you tell the person working behind the counter, like, I have a Golden Girls podcast, it's no big deal?
Well, it's so funny. So we were shopping for presents, and we were in Little Tokyo here in Los Angeles, shopping for a particular type of, like, what do they call it? Manga, like the comic books, like the
manga.
Manga, is that what it is? Yeah, I don't know. But we were looking manga. I don't know. But we were looking for that, and well, Michael was looking for that, and then I was like, I'm bored, and so I wandered off to look at the other stuff.
You bored?
I'm bored. I get bored
in that situation, looking at comic books and stuff.
And then I saw this little thing, and I was like, oh. And so when I went up to buy it, the person behind the counter, I don't believe, understood anything I was saying. And so I was like, this is just a transaction, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I tell you? Oh, wait, before I forget, and then I have a funny story. If you are listening to this upcoming Sunday, if you're in the GG Club, $8 a month, we're doing another live watch along party. This upcoming Sunday, December 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun one. I have to post the results. Everybody voted, so we have to see what everybody voted for. So
Ooh, those are always so fun too.
they're so
If like,
fun.
yeah, I mean, they're just fun. We gather together, and it's just
We
a
gather
nice time.
together, we hang out, we talk about the Golden Girls. Like
It's
there's
like
like an
half hour, 45 minutes, and it's
active
just
chat
chill.
happening. We do a
Yeah.
Q&A afterwards. It's the absolute best. And we
Yeah.
will get into some of you submitted some questions for us to answer on Instagram, and we will get to those. But first, I just have to tell you a really funny story.
Yeah.
So it's a little Oreo story.
Okay.
Little Oreo has this book that she has memorized, and it's really, really sweet. So she likes to read it to me because she's memorized it. It's called Peanut Butter's Tasty Opposites. And this is like a franchise that we like, but it's very cute here. If you're watching on the Patreon, so it says stop, go, opposites, yes. And it's like a peanut butter sandwich, and he's kicking a ball. And then there's like other pages that's like little, big, opposites, yes. Great. So there's this one page. She's reading it to me, and there's this one page, and I'm going to find it. Oh, these damn board books with their thick pages. Okay, so this one. Neat, messy, opposites, yes. For some reason, little Oreo was like, okay, mama, I'm going to be neat and you be messy. And so we were playing out the scenarios where she's like, I'm a cupcake, I'm neat. And I was like, oh no, I'm a cupcake and a baked potato sat on me, I'm messy. Ha ha ha. And then the game was over, except little Oreo kept calling me messy for the rest of the day. And I have a little
She was
clip.
dragging you.
She was dragging me. And hold on, because I pulled a video, and it's of her reading the book to me, but then reminding me that I'm messy. So here's for everybody to listen.
Yes. Neat. Messy. Yes. Like you're messy.
Yeah, I'm messy. Just like you're messy. So then she goes, I want to go play this downstairs. So as she and I are walking down the stairs, she goes, Dada, me and Mama are coming downstairs because she's messy.
So basically what you're saying is little Oreo is going to grow up to essentially be Dorothy Spornak.
Yeah, she's gonna grow up to be Dorothy Spornak or a drag queen. I don't know. Like she's calling me messy.
You could argue that is one and the same. That is very much one and the same. What I love about little Oreo is, in terms of the comparison to Dorothy Spornak, is that there is a sense of she will have the comeback to then make you question if you really are in charge, because you know that you're not. No. She is reading you. She is dragging you.
Yeah.
She is telling you that she's in charge. And that's Dorothy Spornak. That's Dorothy Spornak.
Yeah. So she's a little Dorothy.
That's so fun. So fun. I love that. I love that we're doing this. We'll take some questions, but before we even get to questions, I do just want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone for the year that we had here on this podcast. It's been a lovely year. We had all kinds of fun things, great guests this year, great moments on the Patreon, so many wonderful things. 2024 was a stellar Golden Girls year in that it felt like we had a lot of fun, and we did a lot of really interesting things, and we covered a lot of really interesting projects that the girls have done. And we haven't even hit the, what do they call it? Not the iceberg. What do they call it? The tip of the ice, tip of the
peak. We haven't peaked.
Whatever it is, we haven't even come near covering all of the girls' projects, because there are just so many other things. We have to do more Mama's Family. We have to do more Hot in Cleveland. We have to do more. I mean, there are just so many other things. We have to do more Maude episodes. We have to do more. There's just so much out there. There's a there's a Blanche or Rue McClanahan did a movie with Beyonce and Cuba Gooding Jr. I want to do that. I want to actually. That's the one that I kind of. So I have a very good friend. We know this because she was a part of the live show. Well, kind of unofficially, but Naomi Smalls. And she doesn't understand the Golden Girls. She hasn't done the commitment that she needs to do. That said, she knows Beyonce. And so if Rue McClanahan did a movie with Beyonce, that is the episode in which she will be the guest. So
Great.
I feel like we need to make that happen. That
Okay.
said, so many amazing things. This year for me was hard. It was a very difficult year for me, especially with Frasier and everything, and some family health situations. So it was a very nice moment to have something to turn to throughout the year that was stable, that was kind, that had a wonderful community, that was all about rejoicing and enjoying this thing that we all love and share. And so if you went through anything this year, and I know you have because so many of you message us and I see the messages and the comments and the everything that you tell me about something going on and listening to the podcast and all the things, I just want to say I hear you. I felt that too. And it was just as much of a joyous distraction to record the podcast every week as I hope it is for you to listen to it every single week. So definitely can relate to this, some of the years that I've heard many of you have had. So yeah, definitely grateful end of the year love.
I think, I think that's a good way of looking at the podcast is that I do know that there are a lot of people who have reached out who have said, like this podcast, The Golden Girls, has gotten me through so much. But I'm with you doing this podcast, having this Golden Girls community. It's gotten me through a lot. It's gotten me through a lot this year. So the appreciation, the love, it goes both ways.
For sure.
I'm just
and
very
thank you to
thankful
Mom
for this
too.
community.
Mom Plus as well for having us on their network and doing
Yes,
all of those
moguls
wonderful things.
of media, everyone. It's been a year. I'm excited for next year. I'm excited to keep. There are some fun Golden Girls episode ideas that we have that are like a little different that I'm excited to be doing.
Some fun guests. I've been messaging with some people that I need to tell you about.
Okay.
And there are some that you don't even know.
There's some people that who have been on the Golden Girls who you and I are both aware. I think I've got like 2 in the pipeline. I think we may have two,
Okay.
at least 2 guests who were one of which was on the show that we'll hopefully have early on in the new year. That I'm very, very excited for. And then, some people you'll have to tell me about.
Yeah. Should we take some questions? Should we answer some questions?
Yes. So let's answer some questions. I have them pulled up here. And thank you all for everybody who submitted them. I'll see if we can get to all of them. We have gotten quite a few.
I'll be brief. I've never been brief in my life, but I'll be brief.
Okay. So this question comes from Noodle Salad. Love that name. H. Allen, if you could interview just one of the girls, which would it be?
Oh, that's so hard. That's so hard because I would want to interview all of them, but it would have to be B. Arthur. I just would. Well, it's a toss. I want to interview all of them. It's a toss between B and Betty, but I think B would be the harder interview, honestly, because she's a tougher nut to crack, and I like a challenge, so I feel like I would go with B.
I think I would be. I couldn't. I'm getting the
Acid
burps
reflux?
just thinking about. Yeah. I feel like Betty or Estelle especially would be the easiest interview because she would be like, do you want something to eat? Do you want something to drink? I'm
She's
just so
sweet,
excited to be here. I'm so nice to, you know what I mean? So I feel like I'd want to interview
And Blanche
Estelle.
or Rue McClanahan would just be a big flirt. I just know it. I just know that it would just be a flirt fest back and forth, and I wouldn't actually get anything done in the interview. So I don't feel like it would be the best use of my time if I can only choose one.
I love that you're like B. Arthur. You decide to take the tough one.
Yeah.
That was a really, really great question.
Thank you. Noodle.
Okay, Tori Ciara says, "Why didn't Mary and Joseph call ahead for reservations?" That is a very fun Rose joke. I love that Rose joke.
It's true though.
Yeah.
I have to admit, being raised Mormon and now Jewish, my relationship with the story of Christmas and Jesus in general is very vague, if anything. It has not been a part of my life experience. And so when I hear sometimes when I hear the story, I'm a little like, so she was a virgin? Like
There's a lot of magic that you have to believe in. There's a lot of like just being okay with letting science go out the window and down the street and away.
Yeah,
So,
totally. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
A
great.
Great quote, though. Great quote.
Mad Hatter D Books. Oh, we talked about this a little bit on the
Love
Instagram
Mad
Live.
Hatter. Yeah.
Can you guys go and visit the soundstage where the show was filmed and do a live broadcast?
Yeah, so I contacted a friend of mine who would be able to initiate that. And that's all I'll say. Because I can't say anything else yet.
Okay. All right.
But
we will update you if we can.
Yes, I'll update you when I know more information. But that has started. Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
I will. I do want to add on to that. Like, one of the things that I love about this podcast is, there's a lot of like we have to do an episode every week, and we love doing it, and we do it.
We don't have to. We get to.
We get to, but also like we have a schedule, and we like to keep to that schedule, and so sometimes those little things, like the soundstage, like the little things, the adventures, or interviewing a certain person, like it's not necessarily on our radar because we're doing lots of things around that work towards the weekly schedule that we have, which we love doing. And so it's really great that people like Mad Hatter and other people can give us these suggestions, and we're very amenable to going and doing these things and pursuing these things. So if you have an idea for the podcast, or if you have a person you want us to reach out to, or a place you want us to go, or a thing you want us to cover, reach out, because we're very much, you can do it for free on the Patreon, but you can also do it on the Instagram and the other places, or you can DM us. Don't DM me because I probably won't see it. I'm
just DM the Out on the Lanai.
I'm a freak
accounts.
like that. But
yeah,
yes,
I check them all. Yeah, no, I'm with you in that. Yeah, something may not be on our radar unless we are actively searching for it, which because there's so much other stuff we do for the podcast, only a little bit of our time is dedicated to, let me think of, things like going to the soundstage or, stuff like that. Like, what a great idea. So we'll keep everybody posted, I guess. And you'll have to let me know. I don't even know what you've heard about this.
Yeah.
Okay. The Chris Salazar. So Chris has a comment that it's so funny because Chris, I don't know if you're in the Patreon, but the question that you asked, we actually talk exactly about what your sort of comment is. So,
what's the question?
So we did do a deep dive into it, but Chris says, if Dorothy had Michael when she was 16 and he visits her when she's in her mid to late 50s, how is he not at least in his 40s when he visits, but in his late 20s or early 30s at the most? So we discussed this on an episode of the Patreon, where a woman on TikTok who was like eating Wendy's nuggets as she.
Well, I realize she's also a comedian. I don't know what she does. She does a lot of things on TikTok, but I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, so she posed the same question, and it blew all of our minds.
She had this like really Southern accent, and she was like, "I don't know, y'all. The math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't mathin'." So yeah, no, that's yes. So yes, Chris, if you find us on Patreon, you can listen to.
We definitely do a deep dive, but
dive.
it is bonkers. I mean, I know we know this on this podcast historically on the Golden Girls, the inconsistencies I don't really care about half the time, and Kerri is the one who can point them out and really follow them and track them and all of that, and that's why this works, because I can just be like, okay. Whereas for me. Now, listen, I'll take Michael at any age, 20-something, 40-something. He's still going to look good.
Yeah, he's still going to look
good. Bring him.
And
but
also,
I like him at 20-something. I like him at 20.
If you also watch that episode in the GGVIP Club, there was someone very prominent in the Golden Girls community who also had something to say about that.
Wait, who? Who?
Well, you got to listen to the episode.
I forget. I was in it.
I'll
I
tell
was
you
involved in it,
offline.
and I
I know
forgot.
you were involved in it. Okay. Aaron McCabe. Aaron has a couple of questions.
Oh, I love Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Okay, so Aaron wants to know if each of the girls are sitting on Santa's lap, what are they asking for?
Oh, that is a good question. A great holiday question. Oh, should we start? I mean, you just name the girls and we'll each answer?
I think Blanche is like, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, Blanche is getting kicked out of that mall. Blanche is sitting on that Santa's lap, and she's frankly making everyone uncomfortable, and she is escorted out of the mall by the mall rented security.
Wait a minute, can you
18-year-olds
just
who have been
picture
hired. Yeah.
a line of children waiting to see Santa, and then
Yes.
there's Blanche squirming in his lap, and there's a little
Yes.
kid who's like, Mrs., it's my turn next. And she just turns to the kid and she goes, quiet, you trash.
And then late at night, Dorothy has to go bail her out, and she's just screaming, "Can we from jail?
From mall jail.
From mall jail, which is basically just like a conference room next to the Bed Bath and Beyond."
Yeah.
And no, it's not even. It's the bedroom section of Bed Bath and Beyond. Does that even exist anymore? I don't think it's Bath and Body Works exists, but not Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah. Oh no, thank God. I love a Bath and Body Works candle. My
Oh,
God.
me too.
Oh, 3-wick party. No. Oh, so okay, yeah. So and then wait, what was the question? I got lost on Blanche being hot and horny.
If the girls are sitting on Santa's lap, what are they asking for?
Rose is asking for. Honestly, she's asking for world peace.
That's what I was gonna say. She's asking for world peace.
Yeah, I think she's gonna go big picture here.
I agree.
Whereas Sophia, I feel like if Sophia were alive and living today in 2024, she would be the biggest influencer in the world with her phone, and she would ask for the latest iPhone 16 Pro Max so that she could live stream on TikTok and do all her videos. Like she wants tech. She wants technology because she would turn. We know she always tried to do the get rich quick schemes.
Yeah.
She would recognize that social media was her avenue for fame and fortune. Yeah. Yeah.
I could see her asking for better cuts of meat at the deli because, she talks about how like the butcher is always like shorting her on her cuts of meat. So I think that she would ask Santa to like lean on the butcher. Like, you got to get up in the butcher's face. I want you to go like, Johnny No Thumbs. What was it?
Johnny
The
No
No
Thumbs.
Thumbs
Johnny
guy.
No Thumbs. Yeah, No Thumbs, I think.
Yeah, she would be like lean on him. I think that's what Sophia would want.
I think Dorothy would she would look at the lap and she would be like, I'm not sitting on that. And then she would start like a mini protest that Santas do not have to be elderly white men anymore. That a woman can be
interesting.
Santa.
That's interesting.
That it would basically be the episode of Roseanne where Roseanne is Santa. Like that's what it would be. Like she would be like, feminism, I'm gonna be Santa. I'm coming for your job.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see her doing that.
Yeah.
I could also see her thinking that sitting on Santa's lap is silly and just for kids, but then I think she'd really get caught up in the magic of it all. Yeah. And she'd be like, no, I don't want to. Well, Santa, ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted a Betsy Wetsy doll. And I think she would like ask for a Betsy Wetsy doll. And I think she'd wake up on Christmas morning and it wouldn't be there. And she'd be like, eh. But then she would find it and be like, oh, Santa's real. That's what I would see.
The magic is alive.
The magic is within all of us. Okay, let's see. Aaron submitted a couple questions. We'll do one more. Do you have any traditions that the holidays just wouldn't be complete without? Also a great question, Aaron.
That is a great question. You want to go first?
Yes. So ever since I married Stan, so we kind of started some new traditions. I think the only one I've really carried on myself is growing up, every year I would get a new ornament to hang on the tree that would have my name and the year. So like as an adult, I had a lot of them because I got them well into my 20s. And so that's something I've started with little Oreo, where every year I get her a new ornament kind of based on whatever thing she likes. So last year it was a little Mickey Mouse one and I wrote her name on it. And this year it was a
Oh,
little Daniel Tiger one and they printed her name. And like
mm,
back in the day, it was like you go to the mall and you know, you maybe have like 4 or 5 to choose from. So I'd get like a snowman or whatever. But now it's
yeah.
fun with like Etsy and stuff. You know, I can get stuff that caters to her interests. So she gets really excited and she likes to hang them on the tree. And she's like, "That's my ornament."
Oh,
So
that's so
that's what I've carried
sweet.
over. And then every year, a tradition that Stan has going back with his family that we do is that we make homemade gnocchi or
Oh,
gabadils, as
yeah.
I don't know his family calls them. But we make that homemade gnocchi with some sauces, and that's what we eat for Christmas dinner.
Wow, I love that. And I hope a ongoing tradition for Stan is continued Macy's commercials year after year, year after
Oh, I
year,
would love that
year
for
after
all
year,
eternity
year
until
after
he's
year.
playing Santa in the commercial.
So my holiday traditions, I don't really have like my family has never been big on the holidays in general. Like I said earlier, Christmas is, I mean, we've observed it, but it's never there's no real traditions that we've ever done other than going to a movie on Christmas Day. We've always kind of done that. But I, in the past few years, don't because we don't care about Christmas that much. I don't go see my family for the holidays. I We go in November to see my family, so it's sort of like right before Thanksgiving we see my family, and then on Christmas and that week we go to Michael's family's place in the Bay Area. And one of the traditions that I love about going there, since the first time I was at their house for the holidays was one of my favorite memories of us spending the holidays together was that first Christmas we watched a 6 hour Jean Benet Ramsey documentary twice with his family while over the holidays. And now it seems like every time we go, we watch some disturbing film or true crime thing or something, and I love it. I love it. It warms my heart. The other thing that we do, they do it as more of a gesture for me because of being the Jew in the mix. Is I do love a Chinese food thing over Hanukkah, but there's also an element of my best friend growing up, Lori, and I would spend a lot of time at her house. And we'd always like, whenever we had like a late night, like we would just spend all night at her house. The next day, we'd have like just a feast of being lazy on the couch and eating Chinese food all day long. And so Chinese food is a big part of my holiday experience. So we always, at least one day, go get a massive amount of Chinese food.
Oh,
And
I'm
and
craving. That sounds so good right
it's
now.
so fun. It's so
Oh,
nice. It's so, I mean, we always struggle to find the place that's open because there's like in the Bay Area, it's oddly difficult in where they are. But it is a wonderful tradition that I do enjoy very much so. And we sometimes go see movies too on Christmas Day as well. They continue that tradition as well.
that's a nice tradition. Well, let me ask you
Yeah.
this. If you go see a movie this Christmas, what movie might that be? And what true crime, are there any true crime documentaries? Like, do you have one locked and loaded ready to
Well,
watch?
I don't. Although we do have. So when Michael and I drive up, we save true crime podcasts to listen to for the way up. We backpile them, so we have enough to listen to on the way up. So I need to stay focused. So I need the true crime in my ear the whole time. No
Sure.
music. No music. And and
We've
so
established you don't like music.
I don't give a fuck about music. But so we don't have anything lined up. As for the films, Michael and I really want our Christmas Day film to be Nosferatu, which comes out Christmas Day. But I don't know if that's going to be the one we see. I maybe Mufasa. I don't know. I feel like I feel like there's a I don't know. I don't know what we would see, but I'm pushing for Nosferatu.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
what do you think do you need any suggestions on true crime documentaries to
Well,
watch?
kind of. I mean, the thing is, again, Michael makes fun of me for this because it's difficult to even shop for me because I buy everything for myself immediately. If I want something, I get it, and I don't think twice about it. And the same things with TV and film. If it's out, I will watch it. Like I'm not going to wait for any reason. So I watch everything as soon as it comes,
Mm-hmm.
And like for example, the Jean Benet one on Netflix just recently. I watched that first day. There's Richard Ramirez, the LA Night Stalker guy. There was a new one on Peacock. I watched that immediately. So there's so many that I watch immediately. So I am in need of suggestions. Please, you can DM me or comment on this episode, or unless Kerri, you have some that you would like to.
I feel like you've probably seen them all.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I see a lot of them. It's sort of, it's how I relax.
Mm-hmm. What podcasts do you have downloaded do you know yet what you're going to listen to?
Well, this is becoming a theme, but there's Jean-Benet Ramsey. There's a 3-hour Jean-Benet Ramsey episode of the Crime Junkie podcast that we listen to.
True Crime Junkie.
So we're going to listen to that. And
you might like David Ridgen's podcast.
Okay.
We talked about it. Ellen just had David Ridgen on her podcast. So he's the one that does Someone Knows Something. And there's a new season of Someone Knows Something, but it's called The Next Call. But those are 2 David Ridgen podcasts. Highly, highly recommend them.
Will you text me that?
I will.
Yeah.
Rabia and Ellen describe him as conscientious and ethical, which I really admire in investigative journalists, because I feel like they're, and I should just say really in podcasters, because I think that there are a lot of people who falls into the true crime space, podcasters who are talking about unsolved crimes or cold cases.
Doherty.
And sometimes the way they cover them is like really irresponsible, and I don't like it. But I love David Ridgen.
Do you think Dorothy would have a true crime podcast? I think she would.
I think that Dorothy would get lost in them. I think that she would
be obsessed. Dorothy would have loved Dateline.
Yeah, Dorothy would have loved Dateline.
God.
Dorothy would have had Keith Morrison on. They would have had Keith Morrison on an episode, and it would have. He would have been playing himself.
Yeah. On road trips, instead of Rose singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall, Dorothy would be like, "Shut up! I'm listening to my podcasts," and it would just be like hours of true crime podcasts. Hours.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kate Snow, and you're listening to Dateline on NBC.
Yes, but that would be Dorothy. Dorothy would be Dorothy.
Marcia Frigate was only 35 years old when she went to work at a bar one night and never returned home.
Wow.
Her family, no.
You're really going there.
I know. Sometimes I just have to stop watching Dateline for a while and just watch like holidays. The next holiday baking champion. I need to watch that for a while.
I actually don't like Dateline very much. Dateline is very much background TV for me. It's like Forensic Files. It's like the one that I do like is 48 Hours. I like a 48 Hours. I'm a CBS girl though. I've become a CBS girl in my age. I used to be more of a ABC, NBC girl, but now I've definitely gone into the more CBS route. I don't know what's happening. Maybe that happens to all of us as we get older. Maybe we all become CBS people as we get older.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
we're all just young Sheldon viewers.
We're all just young Sheldons waiting to grow up. Well, this has been such a lovely chat. What a way to close out the year. Actually, we're going to be closing out the year with everybody at our live watch along on Patreon.
So definitely go check that out. But again, thank you so much for everything this year. If one thing that you can do for us that would be very, very, very helpful, it would be the most wonderful gift that you can give us this year, besides listening, is a little rating and review wherever you're listening to this podcast. I know that's in the closing credits, but I wanted to say it here because that is a very important thing as we continue to do this podcast. Of course, there are other things that are important, but that really does very much help us in lots and lots of ways. So leave a review. I did a podcast recently where we had to dive into the reviews, and I did it on Lanai, and they're mostly positive. I mean, there are of course some mean ones there, but which goes with the territory. But it was fun. So go leave a little review, and I'll read them at some point, I'm sure, on some podcast or something.
I was going to say, what a great Rusty Anchor happy hour, us reading our favorite and least favorite.
Oh, that would be
reviews.
I don't know.
We don't have to.
I don't know. I don't mind. I have a very thick skin, so I can do it, but still, And they're mostly positive. People are mostly kind and wonderful. I mean, why would you go out of your way to listen to a podcast you hate? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah. It would be crazy.
Wow.
Unless you hate listening.
I can't believe this is the end of 2024. This is so wild. But we're looking
Yeah.
forward to a great 2025 with all of you. And we have a lot of really fun things to come in the upcoming year.
It's going to be so much fun. And remember, we are all, oh, should I do this? Wait, no, you.
Yeah,
Wait.
please.
Okay, I'm doing it. Sorry. I went on a turn and I'm not used to going out on this on my own. I'm so scared.
I know you're out on a limb.
I'm out on a limb, or I'm out on the lanai. See what I did?
Mm-hmm.
We are part of Mom Moguls of Media, so you know what to do. Go subscribe to Mom Plus, but you can also follow us on social media at Golden Girls Pod on the Twitters, Out on the Lanai Official on the Instagrables, Golden Girls Pod on the Facebookals, and I'm HAlanScott / Sadie Pines on all the ickles.
And you can join the GGVIP club at patreon.com/Golden Girls Podcast. It is free to create an account. You do get some content there, but of course you get most of the content at the $5 and $8 a month levels. And if you pay for a full year, it's even less than that. So that's like, I don't know, break that down, a nickel a day, less than a nickel a day. And I am Squidsy on Instagram and Squid Eats Squid on Twitter.
And remember,
as always,
stay golden.
Stay golden.
And Happy New Year. I said I was going to sing on this episode, and I just
did. You did, and you delivered.
I just did it. Oh, mazel tov.
Out on the Lanai is not endorsed by Whit Thomas Harris Productions, Touchstone Television, Disney, or any of its subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
All names, pictures, audio, and video clips of the Golden Girls are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.